Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Aston Villa's latest news, just for transfer talk, all the little stuff that's been going on over the last few days. And I know Rich is not here with us for the time being, but that's only because he's on his way back from Boston. But he will be back for the fans forum, which by the time this video is released, you will already be seeing him, done your welcome backs and everything else. So first things first, football has won because Moussa Diaby has signed for Aston Villa. Here he is with Unai Emery, all smiles from the two lads, and supposedly Unai Emery said he's been looking at him for the last 2.5 years. He was the #1 attacking target for Aston Villa, which is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely delighted. We as Aston Villa fans welcome Moussa Diaby to the club, and hopefully good years ahead. Now, interesting transfer talks that's been kind of escalating over the last few days is that although supposedly this lad was a backup, it now seems like he's sort of a priority transfer target, as it looks like Aston Villa not only got Diaby, but are now looking to bring in Jeremy Doku. Now, I know this was initially reported as a backup, but I think it looks like Aston Villa wants to go for the two of them. So what we can do is we can get ourselves up just a few statistical analysis of Jeremy Doku. Here we are here. He's got 13 appearances, 16 from the bench. He's got himself 6 goals, 2 assists. And also in the Europa League, he had 4 appearances, 2 coming from the bench, 2 he started. He got himself 2 assists. But, overall, his ratings are very, very good. Over 7. And just some strengths and some weaknesses. His strength is dribbling, finishing, holding the ball. Weaknesses include aerial duels, defensive contribution. That's the thing sometimes you get with wingers because, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not good at pressing or anything else, but wingers tend to be more attacking-minded. But you can see in his latest matches, he was actually starting to hit a bit of form. Got himself 2 goals against Reims, 2 goals against Angers, 2 assists against Troyes, and a goal against AEC Ajacado. So that all looks good, and it's really exciting for him. He's 21 years of age, still a good age. He busted onto the scene with Belgium, and I know Liverpool and other big clubs were looking at him. That seemed to die down a little bit over the last year or two. So this could be an advantage for Aston Villa to try and get this deal done quickly and over the line. Now, there's another one as well we've been linked with is Thiago ALMADA. Supposedly, we are going to go in for a $20 million bid as he plays in the MLS for Atlanta United. Now, again, we can look at some of the stats for Thiago ALMADA. We'll just get them up here. So, Thiago ALMADA, 22 years of age. Again, another good age for him. In the MLS, he's 21 appearances with 8 goals and 9 assists. Really good number, very good match rating. He did go to the World Cup with Argentina, however, he only made 1 appearance from the bench. But, again, he's still a young talent, and with the talent on display in Argentina, it would be very hard to break out. However, for him to be called up probably was a huge honour for himself. He also had 2 appearances from the bench in the summer qualifiers of Argentina in the Olympics. So perhaps that's one to watch out for. Should the Olympics come around, he might be called up. And just another one, some of his strengths and weaknesses. His key passes is very strong. Dribbling is very strong. Likes to have a shot from outside the box. Sometimes we've been wondering about our midfielders having a shot from outside the box. This could be one. If he does come through the door, that we might see. Through balls is very strong. Direct free kicks, passing, holding onto the ball and taking set pieces. So it seems like a very good style of play, and maybe McPhee's wet dream here with taking set pieces, which you never know what could happen there. His weakness includes aerial duels, defensive contribution, and tackling. Again, it's another forward player, so defensive capability might not be the strong suit. And with some of his latest matches against Chicago Fire FC, he got an assist. Against New England Revolution, he got himself a goal. Against Philadelphia Union, a goal and an assist. And judging by the stars, he seems to be having man of the match performances. So again, that's another player that Aston Villa are looking at now. Supposedly, and I've only heard this one today. Well, by the time this video comes out, this might have been yesterday or 2 days ago. That if Thiago Almada does not work out, we are going to go for Zaniolo of AS Roma. Now, I don't know about this one. I don't know enough about Zaniolo. However, again, I will get some of his statistics up here on display. So, 24 years of age, again, it's another good age. It seems to be suiting the bill a lot for Unai Emery to be getting younger players in to be able to develop them. Of course, you would always want some experienced players, but still at 24 years of age these days in football is considered experienced. So in the Europa League with Roma, he had 3 appearances, 1 coming from the bench, and he started 2 with 1 goal and 1 assist. In the Super League, I do believe he was sent off to Galatasaray on loan. And, you know, he made himself 8 appearances from the bench. He started 2, getting himself 5 goals. So that's not bad contributions going with AS Roma. He had 12 appearances that he started, 1 from the bench, with only 1 goal. He doesn't strike me as a Mourinho type player, which is probably why he was sent on loan to Galatasaray at his back, and it looks like Roma want to offload him permanently. And of course, if we can take a look at some of his strengths and weaknesses, he seems to be a lot more on the weaker side than on the strength side, which again, that's why I said I do not know. His key strengths seem to be dribbling, but that's probably just about it. The discipline is very weak. Finishing is weak, holding the ball is weak, and his passing is weak. However, one thing that does strike me here, and this is probably why the links are coming about because of Unai Emery, is the counter-attacking threat. He's probably a very good player who could be direct and counter-attacking. As you can see here with some of his latest matches, more or less just from the Turkish league, he got himself 2 goals against Fenerbahce, and of course a goal against Kayserispor. Now, that, like I said, is one I do not know about. Zaniolo, probably 2-3 years ago, you'd probably be saying that's a big name. Players like, you know, of the higher caliber for clubs to be going for, like a Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City. This, I don't know about this one, and I personally, I probably say no to it. But look, the lads on the Villa Park podcast might have different ideas. Like I said, we don't always agree with each other. So for me, for this one, I don't necessarily know. And I personally wouldn't want this one to happen. Now, there is a bit of an outgoing interest at this minute. And it's to do with probably a fan favourite and last year's Player of the Year, Douglas Luiz. There is interest of Tottenham and Arsenal. Arsenal are supposedly going to be going for him again. Now, this I do not see happening for a fact because in January I know that Arsenal wanted him. They were putting in 25 million because he had a year left in his deal. And it just simply wasn't happening. The club was in no position to sell, and Oak League ended up signing a new deal. So if anything were to happen with this one, I don't think we would be in a position to sell. I think the ownership would be more like in the negotiation, they would demand what they want from Arsenal, not what Arsenal think they could get. And I just don't see it happening. In terms of Tottenham, I don't see him going to Tottenham because they just don't have European football this year and might not necessarily be guaranteed to get it because I think Tottenham are a bit of a sinking ship at this moment with the fact that Harry Kane looks like he really wants to join Bayern Munich. And if you take him out of that team, who've they really got that's a threat? I just don't see it because for him to move to Tottenham, and from my opinion, that one's just not happening whatsoever. And again, with Arsenal, I don't see it happening. I personally don't see Douglas Luiz leaving this window. If he does, it might be a big fee for the owners to really consider if that were to happen and finding out who would replace him. But that's a different question for a different day. So, of course, we've been absolutely delighted to again have Diaby in. It's been really good. Appreciate it, and it's been absolutely a fantastic start to the window. To not only just from Diaby, but to get Yuri Tillemans on a free, Pau Torres, and of course Moussa Diaby, which is absolutely fantastic. 3 top quality caliber players to bring into Aston Villa. They're exciting times ahead, and I personally am looking forward to seeing what Aston Villa can do this summer. Now, of course, there will be more names coming in. Unai Emery has said that. But of course, if anything were to more people coming in, you obviously have to let people go. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. And of course, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to see anything. We've obviously hit over 2,000 subscribers. And if you want to become a member, click the join button if you want all the inside information. And of course, in our 2000 special episode of the Fans Forum later on tonight, but again, by the time you see this episode, you'd have already seen it, that we will be doing a 2000 subscriber prize special. So make sure you look out for that one. And of course, we will have our membership only prize coming as well. So again, thank you. If you're new and you want to be a part of this Villa Park Pod family, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you want all the inside information, all the inside stuff, don't be afraid to become a member by clicking the join button. It's only £2 a month. That's it for me. Bye-bye.